sensitive? Why everybody so sensitive? Does anybody even give? We feeling babies up with medicine. Yeah. Ooh, sipping on juice, sitting in the coupe, thinking about school, thinking about you. Come through, sniffing on blue, sniffing on.
Yo, this your boy C-Star, and this is 600 Seconds with HYLO Art. And before we start the interview, I gotta tell y'all to go like, subscribe, and follow HYLO Arts on all platforms. That's IG, Twitter, Facebook, OnlyFans. We got a lot of platforms, y'all, so just follow us wherever y'all can follow us at. But, y'all, we got I don't even know where to begin at with this person that we got right now to interview. Only thing I can say we got is the one and the only. The one and only. The one and only.
Hey, it's your DJ Prince Ice.
DJ Prince Ice. Let's get a round of applause for DJ Prince Ice.
What up? Living legend. Was cuz I've been doing this forever.
Living legend. Y'all, listen, y'all, we have a living legend right now, man. It's great to be in your presence, man.
Thank you, family.
I got goosebumps, man.
I get those goosebumps every time. Okay.
So, Prince Ice, we got to ask you, how did your DJ career start?
I was born, my whole family's musical. My mom used to sing with groups like the Manhattans and Harold Melvin and Blue Notes back in Brooklyn.
I know the
and
second
everything.
group. Okay.
So we're from Jersey originally. So
Okay.
the whole family was doing music. She started me DJing. She says 3. I remember 5 because I remember all the songs I used to play.
Yeah.
From Kool and the Gang to Earth, Wind and Fire to stuff that's on vinyl that most people are trying to find on MP3 now. And fast forward, we've been doing it ever since. Parties in elementary school, middle school, opening up for everybody from Run DMC to Lil Wayne to, and we still stay busy with it now. This year alone, it's 33 years I've been on radio.
Man, congratulations to that.
Thank you, sir.
That's just on radio?
I've been on the radio for 33 years.
Y'all, round of applause for that, man.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up in that building with the big DMs. So
Okay.
Shout out to all of my mentors that helped me out and a lot of people that gave me breaks along the way. And so that's kind of the theme of my life. Someone helped me out, so that's my job, is to help others as much as possible.
So with your breaks that you had, do you feel like one was like that biggest break? Like that person really, helped me, mentor me the most? Is there any one person?
There are so many, but every time you try to say that one break was one, something else happens.
Okay.
It's like you can't count one blessing when you're constantly getting blessed,
Facts.
And so you have to keep blessing others to get your blessings, and that's when you have to stop taking count. I mean, it was great being able to do stuff, opening up for major artists, and then getting on the radio and being able to have your mixtape played at a football game for college when you're a kid, and you standing on stage with people that's on Rap City and MTV, and you're like, wow, this is ridiculous.
That's amazing, man.
Like, Mom, guess who I'm on stage with?
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you said, you remember, Mom say 3, you say 5, but what was that really? Do you have a big influence? What was that influence? Or what motivates you to keep doing this?
The love of the music and the love of people. When you love people, you want to see people enjoy life. The greatest thing I learned about being able to do something you love for your whole life is you want people to have that feeling. Everybody's working, all the artists, all the DJs. Shout out to my man Surplus. He summed it up. Everybody's working to accomplish their dream. And all of us want somebody just to crack the door open and let us in.
Exactly.
And so what people have to realize is you do better by working with people, by helping people. And then you study the game yourself. And just like any athletes practice, like they say, if you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. So you got to be like Kobe, like Jordan, like all the greats. And watching Busta Rhymes in the studio when he was doing the song "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See," seeing that energy. If you've ever seen Busta Rhymes, I tell people there are 3 artists you don't want to come on after if you're performing. Old school artists: DMX,
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh, and Busta Rhymes. After them, you better have enough hits to keep people interested. Because I saw Busta Rhymes come on before 50 Cent one time, and people start leaving. And you know how they'll take an intermission during the time. It was the Spit Kickers tour. And people was leaving, and somebody yelled on this mic, "Yo, 50, they leaving. You got to come on out here." 50 came out stage before his intro. You know, he has a big show, and he's like, "Yo, hold on, where y'all going?"
Yeah.
I ain't even hit the stage. "Yo, Banks, let's go." And they just jumped right into the show because everybody turned around.
They had to.
When you create that energy for yourself, you got to have that energy to keep people interested in what you're doing. And you got to love what you're doing. You know, you'll sacrifice for what you love. You'll do what it takes to achieve your dream. It's your dream. The person that's supposed to work it hardest is you.
Yeah.
No one else.
Man,
Yeah.
you just dropped some gems on us just now, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. So, your stage name,
The stage name DJ Prince Ice.
where that come from?
My best friend from Newark gave me that name when we were 13. My man Rob Bigby. So he's a computer whiz kid analyst in Atlanta now.
Okay.
Because he was Prince Ice Fresh. And I was looking for a name because at the time I was DJing, I was rapping, I was singing. I was
you done
playing
did
the
it all.
Yeah, I was playing the piano. And you know, and that's what I love about coming from a little older generation.
Yeah.
It was just like if you've never heard of an athlete named Bo Jackson, he could play many sports.
Did he play every sport except for?
Yeah, he played as many sports as he
every
could.
Sport. I know baseball for sure.
If you got more than one talent, use it.
Exactly.
You know, I tell everybody, it's like having 5 seeds to plant. You put them all in. You cultivate them. You water them. One's gonna grow majorly, and you do what you got to do, and then that one's gonna have stuff that branches off from it.
I love
but
that analogy.
you don't stop watering
The other
ones.
The other ones, yeah.
Everything grows and branches out. So you might start dancing today. Next thing you know, you're teaching doing choreography for music videos. You might can write songs. Next thing you know, you're writing books. You're teaching, from DJing, from my mom teaching me how to play the piano, and teaching song writing and vocal lessons. I do some of that, and then going into production, and then from DJing, I've got to travel the world as a kid and as a grown man. So everything you do branches off into something else. You just got to keep cultivating. It's up to you.
Yeah. Never just put down something and say, I'm done with this. Hey, keep it going, keep it moving.
Yeah.
If you got to come back to it, you can come back to it.
Right.
Like you said, you growing as a DJ has created more of these branches where you can, where you can pull in these other seeds and say, okay, now we can touch and I can do this and do that and do that.
Because people will tell you, if there's one thing you want to do, then you work as hard as you can at that one thing. Still plant seeds and other things that you like.
And people do that all. Basketball players, like you said, you go out and play basketball, but it creates so many other opportunities.
Yes.
Michael Jordan and LeBron, they basketball players,
Movies, they're big businessmen now.
They got everything else going on, but it starts with that seed, but they have other seeds planted.
Right.
It started with that main one that grew the tallest.
Exactly.
And it branches off. So now that's a great analogy, man. I hope everyone's listening, because that is a great analogy, man.
Pay attention, people. Pay attention.
You're dropping gems, man. So I gotta ask, what is it like being a radio DJ, period, and then also being one in South Carolina?
Being a radio DJ is a dream come true. I remember recording off the radio, sitting at home. I had a stereo upstairs in my bedroom, pressed on pause. Had a stereo downstairs in the living room.
I've done that as a
pressed
child.
on pause. So shout out anybody from up north that remembers WBLS and 98.7 KISS. I just record BLS upstairs and KISS downstairs. And so When Red Alert and Molly Mall was going back to back, the two DJs on the radio stations there, I had tapes of them. When I moved to South Carolina, somebody stole a whole bag of all my old school mixes.
Oh, man.
Man, it crushed me. Then I had to get my cousins and them to get it all back for me. So, and just hearing all those DJs and announcers, but then when you go see them live and they talk to you and you see all the energy, and so that's the key thing you want to do. Give people that energy. The only thing you have in this life, the biggest thing you're going to sell is yourself. So the biggest question people are going to ask you, and the biggest thing that people are going to remember is, who are you and who were you? So while you're alive, the biggest thing people want to know is, who are you for real? And when you pass away, they're not going to talk about all the things you had, but who you were and how you touched the lives of others. So that's how you got to use your life. You're either blessing or blocking. And the person that people don't even realize is, when you try to block others, you really block yourself.
Yeah.
Be a blessing, not a block. I say.
All right, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, I got this game I like to play.
Okay.
Called Word Association.
Word association.
I'm gonna throw you out. I'm gonna throw a word at you. And you're gonna give me just your thoughts about it. One word, sentence, it don't even matter. But whatever comes to your mind when you hear this word.
Right.
You ready?
Yes.
The first word is going to be Hands in the Air mixtape.
Hands in the Air mixtape. How many words I do? Just
Unlimited.
unlimited words?
Unlimited word.
Hands in the Air mixtape. Compilation, showcase, platform, unity, South Carolina, the world. Because what it is a compilation of some of the top artists in South Carolina at that time that I was able to get them. And I was encouraged to do that by DJs that have done it before. Flex, Khaled. They make mixtapes with all these different people. Khaled put Justin Bieber and the Migos on a record together.
Yeah.
So I'll put a singer and rappers on them. So, you know, I'll take cats got the hardest trap record and put them on a song with an R&B artist. And here you got a joint that's could be classic. All we got to do is push and get behind it and keep pushing. And so that creates a platform. And then you take everybody that's either from South Carolina or affiliated with South Carolina, and you show them to the world. But we got to get South Carolina to support South Carolina. Let me say that again.
Yeah, say that one more time for them.
We got to get South Carolina to support South Carolina. So we love when, man, fam said it. We love showing love to others, but we got to show love to ourselves first.
Exactly.
You know, I hate it when I hear artists, oh, I went to school with MC Bubblegum. Okay. But your man got a hit record.
Support.
Oh, I went to school with so-and-so. She sing. Yeah, she used to sing in school on the chorus. Yeah, she on tour. Yeah, you know. And I listened to another girl disrespect another female, and I was like, really? We should not disrespect ourselves. I tell people, if you are having beef or problems with people in your city or your state, that's like brothers fighting over food. Your mom gonna give y'all the same amount on your plate. And she gonna smack both of y'all for trying to act like you deserve more than your brother.
Exactly.
You know, so you're starving each other, trying to starve one another. You see what I'm saying? Rather than that, it's like, look, both of them should contribute to help moms out so that everybody can eat. And then they help the whole family out. And next thing you know, the family's growing. And then the family's able to reinvest. And so when South Carolina reinvests in itself, it grows, and the rest of the world starts noticing.
They start noticing and start realizing that what South Carolina is able to do.
Yeah.
Because we are able to do anything, like you said, but it's that reinvestment that, like I was just talking with Tessalina, you got to have that, you got to have that camaraderie.
Right.
You got to have that camaraderie between each other. You can't just say, you can't talk to DJ Surplus just because he's another DJ.
Nah.
It makes no sense.
Artists and DJs should be like this.
Agreed.
Artists and DJs because that's how hip hop started. It started with the DJ first.
The DJ, I'm about to say the DJ was the most important person.
The DJ still is the most important person, whether it's internet, a venue, mixtapes, because there's artists that have gotten something viral on social media, on the internet, but then a DJ played it. Then a DJ saw it. Then a DJ supported it. You know? The first time I heard about Soulja Boy was from two people, a DJ and then a kid after they saw the video on YouTube. You know? This is a 14-year-old kid performing in clubs in Hartsville, South Carolina. You know? But guess who the DJ was that discovered him? Somebody I knew when I was in Atlanta, Mr. Collie Park. He called himself DJ Smurf then. He's like, yo, you heard of this Soulja Boy dude? It's like, yo, man, the kids love him. They doing this Crank That Yule record. It was like,
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I ain't never heard nothing like that before. But the kids love it. Then a few months later, what happened? He's closing the BET Awards.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
So, and everybody that didn't know who he was after that day,
Man, I was
They
a
knew
big
that.
fan of Soulja
Yeah.
Boy, man. And then there was a lot of people after him
yeah,
that just followed that same trend. But yeah, like you said, it started with that DJ.
right.
Started with the DJ.
Right.
Now, that's dope. My next word I'm gonna throw you is family.
Family. Family is not just the people you're related to.
Exactly.
Family is not just blood.
It's not just blood.
There are artists in here that I've known for going on 30 years or more. There are DJs that I've known from 10 to umpteen years. And there are people that you've known. And see, that's that whole thing going back to that support of South Carolina, supporting South Carolina. Whoever the first person was that gave me my chance when I moved here, I'm still in contact with some of those people. We still do parties together. So there's still people that, you know, and that's the whole thing. We will all grow. We will all eat if we all do our part. You know, you look at crews like what Nelly did with the St. Lunatics.
Brought them all on.
Brought them all on. You know, Eminem with the D12. And too many other groups and people to name. The whole Wu-Tang Clan ate.
RZA. I've been
Yes.
watching
The
on
series.
Hulu.
If you haven't watched the Wu-Tang series on
plug that
Hulu,
in. It'll change. It'll realize
Yes.
how much it took for them to become it.
Right.
Because right now, you know, you got Ghostface and you got Raekwon. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they had it. But like you
Right.
say, it started with that one person saying, hey, we can make this happen better as a group.
Right.
Instead of us, you go out separately, you go out separately. Now, like, we building as a team. Or
Exactly.
if I know as of right now, Method Man just made the first track that everybody go off on. So
Oh, yeah.
he's the introduction for everybody else to kind of.
Right.
Me and Duke talk about, like, you got to look at Outkast.
Yes.
Outkast, even if Goody Mob was out before Outkast was that forefront to bring the rest of them in. Like, okay, let them be the forefront, and now we can bring everybody else in. But we all gonna still be a team regardless.
Right,
We gonna
right.
all still be a team regardless. Yes.
right. And so that's the thing we tell everybody. Make sure that you support, because you don't know that the person you support just a little bit today could be that one to kick in the door, open the door, and then we all go bum rushing in. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, South Carolina deserves those Grammys, deserves those VMAs, and all the other stuff.
All the awards that they got, we
Yeah.
deserve it. We deserve it.
We deserve it.
My last word for you going to be DJ life. What is the life of a DJ?
DJ life, it's fun, man. It's imagine, and so you know, I'm also one of those turntablist dudes. I used to scratch with certain parts of my body that I can't do no more.
Okay.
You know, yeah, you scratching with your pelvic bone and.
Oh man.
Hey, behind your back, and yeah, I don't do a lot of that stuff no more, but don't sleep. The skill's still there. I tell people, just because Jordan ain't on the court, don't mean he can't ball.
Facts.
You know, ain't nobody gonna test you on your skills.
Yeah.
And the great thing I love about still being on the radio, I get to prove myself every day, and that's all you got to do with your life. You know who you are. As that line from Black Panther, show them who you are. She said that. Once she did that, a whole can of African whoop came out, and T'Challa went off. And that's really what it is. Show people who you really are, and remain humble at the end of the day, but keep the pride in yourself, and your work ethic has to be, I can't quit. Yeah. Giving up is not part of the plan.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do it to the point where there's no plan B. There's only plan A.
That's it. If it's not your plan A, it's not part of your plan. Yeah. And I tell people, it's your job to make your dream come true.
No one else. It's no one else's job.
There will be people that will believe in your dream and support your dream, but it's not their job to make your dream come true.
No, that's true, man.
The hardest work has to be done by you. That person that believes they're going to go to college and graduate and become this, or go get this job and become a manager, or own your own business, or become a great DJ, or whatever you are. Know who you are. Be who you're supposed to be. But show that same love and respect to anybody else doing their thing. There's enough room in the world. It's one thing I would like to touch on that a lot. I've seen a lot around here. People think that after someone has done something that they need to make room for others. Let me tell you something. Your path is your path. Every one of us have to walk our own path, but we got to start our path.
Yeah.
No man has to sit down for somebody else to come up. Jordan didn't have to move out the way for somebody else to become great. You had to put in the work. You know, that will never change no matter what generation it is. If you don't work, you don't eat.
You don't eat. I know that's right.
Ain't nobody got to give you nothing. You don't deserve nothing. And that instant gratification mentality is the reason why some people are never happy. You work. You grind. You go hard. You have people that say, man, he working hard. She working hard. I'm going to support them. And because people love to see people working hard. If somebody will come up to you tomorrow and say, yo, I sing, man, I rap, man, I draw, I could dance. And you're going to say, show me something. Right there, if they don't show you something, well, you know, it's like I have had rappers say, man, I'm doing my thing. That's all right. Listen, follow me on IG and send me something. Oh, man, my girl run my IG. And I watched as that couple broke up, and she took his Instagram, and she's calling him deadbeat this and this Negro that and that in, and his Instagram became a scorned woman page.
Yeah, it don't even belong to him no more. Oh, yeah. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a question from the audience.
Okay, let's get it.
All right, who we got over there? Let me take my glasses off.
This is Tessalini Strong Arm.
We got Tessalini Strong Arm. There we go. What's up with you, man?
I appreciate you allowing me to ask the question because I grew up off of Prince Ice. You know what I'm saying? He's a big brother to me, and he's somebody that I listen to a lot over time and learn a lot from. What I want to ask you is this, and it's really important, and I really want everybody to hear. We came up in a time where people like Two Live Crew and Luke and all of these people had to fight for the ability to say what they wanted to say.
Right.
Censorship was real heavy on rap in the beginning. They didn't let us say a lot. How do you feel now that you have a lot of artists, you know, the Nicki Minaj's, the Lil Nas X's, when they asked Lil Nas X a question about certain things, and he said, F the kids, you know, about just how everything was going. Do you feel like in hip-hop today, we've gone too far in regards to relaxing censorship, or do you feel like this is America? Do what you do.
The best thing that you mentioned in the word censorship is trying to tell someone what they can and cannot say or do. That's the first understanding. But then censorship changed into not what you can or cannot say, but you can say this as long as it fits my agenda, as long as it fits my criteria. So now they let artists And it's not that they can't say what they want to say. Some people, and because somebody will say, well, they've been saying that a long time. Somebody will say, well, Two Live Crew said this. And in the 70s, you had Dolomite and Fred Sanford.
Yeah.
And they'll go back until Adam and Eve all the way up to Cardi B and whatever and say, well, there's been nasty stuff in porno and whatever since forever. Right. The difference is, as you said, when it comes to hip hop, when hip hop first began, they had their own conscious mind leading them because they didn't control what you could and couldn't say in the beginning. They still said what they wanted to say. There still was some nasty records, and most of it was, majority of the old school records from the 70s and early 80s of hip hop was clean. Right. You would say at least 98%. But after 1983, it changed. And as you come back here, we're almost 40 years later now from 1982. You know, so you take that time and they relax stuff because one thing we know, the world changes, the rules change, but the certain thing that never changed about the industry is how it's been run. Yeah. And who it's been ran by.
Yeah. But you know what? But this is what I meant by the question, right? And I appreciate that, but here's what I really mean to say. Do you feel like the artists are responsible for what the kids are taking in? Or do you feel like I said, it's just America. Do as you do, say as you say. It don't matter.
I feel like a person has to choose what they're going to say, how they want to proceed. And there is a responsibility that everyone does have, but what has happened to that is it is now choice. We like to hear songs that talk about smoking, drinking,
killing, lean,
sliding,
everything.
Slide. Yeah, slide. Yeah. That's a good way to say it. Slide.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And yeah, there are songs that talk about killing that, we you know, and if you grew up in 92, anywhere between 90 and 92, here is something you can't understand. How I could just kill a man.
Yeah.
Cypress Hill had you singing a song about murder. You know? And so, but
Good point.
you know, slam, let the boys be boys. And we could go on and on. But at certain points, those artists made those songs, but they still there was some kind of equilibrium. There was a balance in it for every artist that had a song about twerking and popping it, and the word twerk, although it wasn't major.
It was an offset for
it. For Luke and the Two Live Crew, you had the Poor Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane. You had Salt and Pepper that could make you push it.
Poison Clan. Remember Poison Clan?
Yeah, and Poison Clan. I mean, come on, JT Money. Listen.
How about the X Clan too? Like,
put nothing past no. You know that song. Listen. But the overall thing is, artists, they would make a song that was good for the street. And by the way, today they tell you, hey man, well, you need a record for the radio, you need a record for the club, you need a record for this. There was no such thing before 1998. You just made dope music. Wow. If you say, you know what, I'm gonna make this kind of record. It wasn't for anything. You made a song, why? Artists sampled some Al Green. They was like, well, my grandma like Al Green, so I might not cuss on this record because I want my grandma to dance to this record. And then you sample a song by Marvin Gaye, like, or What's Going On, and you might get a little angry on that one and cuss and talk about how injustices and police brutality. And people like, all right, we understand why they did it. Like, you know, how they really blast NWA, but you have Public Enemy and NWA both with one goal, to talk about injustice.
Yeah.
Different perspectives, same goal.
Same goal, exactly.
So there's a responsibility with all that we do. You have to choose it based on your individual morality and integrity. If an artist doesn't curse, doesn't talk about this, It doesn't make them whack. It doesn't make them whatever. It just, that's their choice. If they make some songs that have it, that's their choice. But I think that when it comes to kids, we have to, because people say, well, it's up to the parents. You're a parent. You got 4 kids, MC so-and-so. You got 11 kids, MC so-and-so. You know? Right. So what do you want your daughters to know if you're a male rapper or a female whatever? What is the image you want your daughter to do? There are artists like Snoop that didn't let their kids listen to their music until they was teenagers. So the artist has to take in consideration.
Yeah, artists are parents too.
Yeah, what they want to do. So no one's telling what you can and can't say.
No, you're right.
You have to decide what you want to do. As a DJ, my daughter and I we literally grew together loving Nas and Rakim. Right. But I had all the clean CDs. But when she got older, guess what she did? Went got all the dirty versions.
Yeah.
But she was old enough then.
Gotcha.
You know, so now she's teaching her kids. They all like similar things, you know. My grandkids like Michael Jackson like I did. But they're putting me on the artists, you know, that they like. Yeah. And while some of them may have lyrics, I'm like, ooh. I try to like their creativity versus the content.
The content.
We got to remember we was them one time.
Yeah.
We try to anyway.
So I just tell artists, I'll end it like this. I tell artists, be versatile. Make a song. I challenge every artist to at least, if you got an album of 15 songs, make no less than 5 of them completely clean.
Yeah.
Because if you can't do that, that's like a basketball team that can only play on home court. The best way to win is on away games.
Yeah,
that's when you get real respect.
Yeah, that's when you get the respect there.
Not when you're comfortable, but when you're challenged.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Tessie.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate it, Prince Ice.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
That was a good question, man. So I gotta ask, man, what's missing from the South Carolina music scene?
Support.
We've been hearing that a good little bit, man.
Yeah.
Support, man.
I don't know. I can say artists like J Juice. I can say artists like Diggable Planets. I can say other DJs like Kid Capri. If you ask them who broke their record on radio in South Carolina, it's been 33 years now. Some of y'all that's old, at least 33, older than 33, remember it was only the Big DM in Columbia for a minute.
Yeah.
Wasn't no Hot 103.9s, 100.1s.
Yeah, 100.1. Yeah,
it was me. I had to break all the hip hop, all the reggae, all the house music. This is the funny part. I did the Quiet Storm Monday through Friday.
Quiet Storm.
Monday through Thursday, Sunday through Thursday. Friday night from 9 to 2 or 10 to 2. I did the Friday night dance party where we played R&B, reggae, and house music. Saturday night, Club 101, hip-hop, all the hip-hop you could take. And at the last hour was 1 hour commercial-free booty music. So South Carolina's very own Them Boys, How Much Booty, and Body Talk. Those are 2 records that I broke on the radio. Next thing you know, they're on the road opening up for major artists and getting a major record deal. And they reminded me of that. And then you call, and then groups like the 69 Boys send me a plaque and thank me for breaking Whoop, there it is, and the Tootsie Roll at 2 in the morning. And, and then you get all these plans. And next thing you know, Biggie and them taking me on tour.
Yeah.
Because who's breaking their records?
Yeah. It's you.
Yeah, so that's the job of a DJ.
Man, support.
It's to break the records. DJs got to break the records. The scary thing about commercial radio now, all the companies bought it. So the playlist, if they don't say it's okay, that's because they didn't say it was okay. Read between the lines.
Yeah.
Somebody in the industry gonna get mad, what I'm saying, but you know the game. You gotta dance to the music. But the great thing about that with the internet and the streets are still there, you still gotta get out there and push. So shout to my Surplus. He got his own radio station where he plays all the independent artists. I still make mixtapes. And even when I mix live on the internet, I still play independent artists. I DJ here at my house restaurant and still travel around the world whenever. People don't even realize it. They be like, man, I ain't seen you in a month. I was DJing on the Carnival Cruise until that thing flipped over. I was like, nah, I'm gonna take some time off. So
take a little break.
I'm playing an artist from South Carolina, and a woman from Sweden asked me who that was. So I tell artists, serve every DJ your MP3s. Always give them a clean version. Make sure your edited version don't have nothing in it, because while the most popular artists signed to a big label, or if they just
can get away with
they can get away with everything.
They can get away with. You gotta really clean it up.
Yeah, but you gotta clean yours up because they're trying to find reasons to not to play your music.
You can't say blood, cuz like the bigger artists that can say that.
50 Cent got away with everything.
Yeah,
but we had Mr. Flip with a song called "You're Damn Right" that couldn't get the support it deserved. You see what I'm saying?
So I have to ask you this question because we be around artists and I be broadcasting stuff and you be right there and you be seeing it and we be talking and we be chatting.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you've been around New York. I've been around Baltimore, D.C., Virginia. Yeah. And so, you know, like when you go up in D.C., you hear go-go music.
Right.
You're going to hear it. You go to Baltimore, you're going to hear Baltimore club music.
Yes.
You're going to hear it. And so with South Carolina, you know, I feel bad because we have some great artists here. We got Jay Juice. We got all kind of different artists.
Right.
Tiffany J. We got all kind of artists all over Columbia that are just killing it.
Yes.
And they're not putting together no sloppy stuff.
No.
They putting together nice stuff.
Yes.
And so the thing that breaks my heart is here in Columbia is that we don't get behind our artists.
Right.
What is it that we can do specifically in Columbia, South Carolina, to get behind our artists? Because if you got a Houston rapper, they behind them.
Right.
If you're in Florida, you behind them. Flow Rider. Atlanta,
especially Atlanta,
you behind them. What is it going to take for us to get behind an artist? And what do you think it is the reason why we don't get behind the artist?
Remember the illustration I gave earlier?
Yeah.
When everybody stops looking at everybody as competition. I'm not in competition with no other DJ in South Carolina. I opened up for Jazzy Jeff, bruh. Jazzy Jeff, bruh.
Yeah.
Come on. I opened up for Kid Capri. I've been on stage with every name brand DJ from 40 years ago to just around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So, and then all the DJs that grew up listening to me 33 years ago on the radio.
I remember. I'm one of them.
I work with them still, and those dudes are killing it. But the one thing I will never do is disrespect them dudes. And artists have to not disrespect them dudes. Do you? And so, again, South Carolina has to support South Carolina. So let's start with this. If I'm an artist, I gotta work like the majors do with my budget. This is what I tell every artist. Anybody got a notepad on your iPhone or your Android? Type this in. Get you a monthly budget. Start at $500 or more, whatever you can invest, and advertise yourself on the local stations, regardless if they play you or not. Just the same way you hear that pizza commercial, that car dealership commercial, advertise yourself.
You need 30 seconds to a minute and play your song.
Play your songs.
Play a piece of your song.
Here's the commercial. Here's a download and stream the new single, whatever it is, by MC so-and-so. And that's 10 seconds in the first part. 20 seconds you play the song.
Exactly.
Then you got a whole nother 10 seconds at the end.
To tell.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So if you take 15, or let's put it like this. You take 30 seconds, if you're doing a 60 second, you do 15 seconds as an intro, 30 seconds of music, another 15 seconds on that same commercial, wrapping up about, don't forget, request and download this song by this artist, available on platforms everywhere. And you buy a month worth of commercials, and you tell yourself, for the next 3 months, I'm gonna do that on as many radio stations that fit the format of my song. All the hip hop, if it's rap, you advertise it on all the hip hop stations. If it's something that's rap but it's got an R&B feel, then you can advertise it on the R&B stations. Yeah. If it's rap that has an R&B pop feel, you can advertise it on the pop, the hip hop, and the R&B stations. But advertise. Then by, you know, in the early 2000s, we had Be Right Entertainment and Chuck Knight's Records and everybody. They were making commercials on when we used to watch Rap City in the basement. They had commercials that they bought on the local cable TV. Advertise yourself. Think like a business, not as two brothers fighting over the same place. And so artists, that's the artist's responsibility first. Then get your music to every DJ. If there's a DJ that nowadays the bedroom DJ is just as popular as the radio DJ, the tour DJ. Because the bedroom DJ got 100,000 followers because he mixes on social media. He mixes on Twitch and all this other stuff. Make sure all the DJs have clean and dirty and instrumental versions of your songs. You gotta make edits of your songs. And then finally, once the artists advertise their stuff, because you got to beat people in the head. You still can do flyers. You still can promote it on social media. You still advertise on the radio, in the newspaper, and TV, and especially on the internet. Because, see, once you as the artist put your face out there so much, people can be like, man, I'm going to have to see who this J Juice is. I'm going to have to see who this DJ is. I'm going to see who this artist is. Because you done beat them in the head so much with it that they're gonna check it out. Next thing you know, they're gonna like it and they're gonna start requesting it. And then the artist you gotta promote the heck out of yourself.
What is it about Columbia that where we don't get behind our artists?
Because one thing I just said, you got artists hating on artists. How many artists in here right now say, yep?
Yep.
How many of y'all heard another artist diss another artist? Say, yep.
Yep.
There's one main problem right there. Now, get your music to every DJ you can. And people say, well, you know, DJ so-and-so, he in the strip club, so I'm going to just serve him. How many companies you know put their product in one store? That's dumb. If you put 50 bottles of Coca-Cola in the little corner store right here, and that's the only store you put them in, well, you sell out, that's it. But then somebody else will put their soda in every store up to Notch Road, and they'll make 1,000 times more.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can't worry about, you know, and people don't hate on somebody that they don't think gonna succeed. Hatred is the sign that you can succeed. They just don't want you to. When somebody hate on you, that's what that means. Go work harder, push harder. And South Carolina has to just say, you know what? He dope.
Yeah.
She's dope. They're hot.
Yeah.
I like them. And they support them.
And support, yep.
That's what South Carolina got to start doing first. Instead of, as mentioned earlier, don't just support people because, what Shorty said, because they from Atlanta, because they from outside of South Carolina. We got more talent in this city alone than some whole states, but that's not knocking anywhere else.
Yeah.
South Carolina's so talented, man, it's ridiculous. But we got to push it. We got to promote it. Anybody that's down for you, oh yeah. Artists, if you got a crew to roll with you, if you got more than 5 to 10 people rolling with you, and they ain't wearing T-shirts with your stuff, if they ain't passing out your flyers, if they ain't sharing your stuff on their social media, they are not on your team.
They're not on your team, no.
They are not on your team. So if you got somebody that's down with you and they are not sharing your stuff, because how many of us got followers that we barely know, but they shared your stuff?
Whoop, whoop.
I posted about my TV show that I got on the CW that's about to do exactly what we're talking about. So all artists, follow me at DJ Prince Ice. The Prince Ice Show. And that's the thing that's helped me stay in radio. But when the companies bought the stations, they started deciding only this, only that. So now the playlist controls. That's why when you listen to all the radio stations, remember when radio stations used to sound different from one another?
Yeah, now
they all sound the same.
You turn on one and the same
and
song.
that started in the early 2000s. Remember when T-Pain's song "Buy You a Drink" came on?
Yeah.
It would play on the top 40 pop station. It play on a hip hop station. Play on the R&B station. I was tired of drinking. Yeah, but it was dope. Dope song.
Dope song, man. So,
but that's it. Artists,
gotcha.
Do everything you can to advertise yourself, and if you like, cause see, oh yeah, Shay, where you at? This is one of the main things. This is one of the main things we got to remember, and I'm trying not to talk too long on it. Before we're DJs, before we're artists, we still are fans of music. If you love music,
yes.
If I'm a rapper, but this rapper from Lexington make a dope song, I'm like, ooh, that song fire. If you like it, support it.
If you like it,
you
support
supporting the dude from Atlanta.
But you can't support someone right next.
But why you supporting him? Oh, he from Atlanta. So he come to Columbia, sell out club. Remember that club, the main event in Columbia? T.I. made 80 grand in less than an hour when they sold the VIP out. Next week we had an album release. Somebody they couldn't get 200 people to come in the door.
Man.
And then the person left here, went up and blew up somewhere else. And that's the only thing. No more does South Carolina have to go away to blow up.
To blow up, yeah. And then
no more. No more. Atlanta said, y'all stop coming, we full.
You're right.
If you was here in the 90s and the late 80s, we was telling people, stop saying you from New York. Everybody ain't from Brooklyn. Some of y'all from Brooklyn, Casey. We was like, stop it. Be proud of where you from. If you grew up off Farrow Road or in the Deeps or whatever, if your grandma had you pulling chitlins out of a can.
Be proud of it.
And your hands smell terrible. Be proud. Tell me about because that's it. Remember what I said earlier. They talk about who you are and who you were, but it's based on what you share with them. I'm just a man that's trying to bless because I've been blessed. My life has been touched, so I'm trying to touch as many lives as I can by doing whatever I can to help people realize the better we treat each other, the better our lives are.
No, that's true.
And you use what you got to make that happen. When Kobe Bryant died, you almost didn't hear about his basketball. You heard about him, the person, and how he used his gift
to touch others. Yeah. Exactly. So, man, you done dropped a lot of gems, gave a lot of knowledge on the DJ, the artist aspect, all this, man. I hope everyone was able to absorb it, man. My last thing I got to ask you is, how can people follow you and your final shout-outs? How can people follow you, social media, and then any final shout-outs you got for the people, man? Because this was it's so much you gave us, man. I'm appreciative of it, man.
Thank you, man. Shout to y'all, man. I appreciate you, HYLO Art, for having DJ Prince Ice. Shout Ed Snapshot Brown. Shout to everybody in the building. All the artists, put one fist up for yourself right now, because you got to work, I got to work, we got to work.
We got to work.
But see how my fist is tight? That's how we all got to be. We got to work together to make it happen. So follow me on every social media at DJ Prince Ice. TikTok, whatever it is. I'm on everything.
Okay.
I think.
I gotta get your TikTok. I gotta follow you on that.
If it's something I'm not on, I'll set up an account on it just to have it.
Just to have it, I got you.
So that, because you gotta, it's business, it's marketing.
Yeah.
Stop taking it personal when somebody hate on you. Because the sad part is, as I was talking with somebody earlier, so many people want to have control, but they're not in control of their own destiny. Some people want to have control, but they're not in control of their own destiny. They just want to stop you. And then somebody will try to, like today, this artist right here was tell this artist, hey, I want to work with you. All right, cool. And so they'll do something with them, but then they say, well, let's combine ideas. But then the other one said, nah, but they try to make you compromise a little too far. Well, this artist say, well, man, you know, I don't want to talk too far about that. I know we represent street, but I don't want to do this. Let's do it where we right down the middle.
Right down the middle, yeah.
So we don't knock any fans out, any potential growth of the record. And then eventually you have to fall back. Don't be afraid to fall back.
Yeah, if it ain't for you.
Yeah, if they're not for you to associate with, cut your losses, which are none at the end of the day, and keep you moving.
I like that. There are no losses at the end of the day.
Man, the only losses you will face are those that you cause yourself.
Tell them. Tell them.
Yeah, cut. Yeah. All right. Can I leave everybody with one illustration?
Oh, of course. Of
All
course.
Right. Everybody remember this. Every day you wake up, every journey you start, every time you say, you know what I'm going to do? Imagine that there's this mountain and there's this backpack. Anybody ever been backpacking? What you do? You put all the stuff you think you're going to need in there. You try to invite as many people you think that going to go on this journey with you. You start up that mountain. That backpack start getting heavy. You got to start taking stuff out.
And utilizing it.
And then you look around you. The people supposed to be supporting you, some of them holding you back. Some of them trying to pull you down. Cut those ties. You keep going higher. The higher you go, the more you taking out the backpack, the more people you cutting off.
Yep.
The more you're getting rid of everything you don't need. And do that more in your life. So that do more of what you need to do. Sometimes the things we want aren't the things we need. Sometimes the people we want in our lives aren't the people we need in our lives. And guess what? When you get to the top of your mountain, you only got the bare necessities, food, water, and whatever else, and clothing, and just a handful of people.
Yep.
And they did this. When you were leaning back about to fall, they caught you.
They lift you up.
When you were rocking left and right, they held you steady.
Yes, sir.
When you start slipping, someone that was up already helped pull you up. If you don't have that kind of team, you don't have a team.
Cut them. Everyone, let's give a round of applause for DJ Prince.
Thank you very much. All right.
Yeah, you couldn't wait for me. I could get it together. Try to get it together. You couldn't wait for me. I could get it together. Go find you one better. A serious.